Coaches, do you have a problem with your team communicating? Either they're not communicating or they are saying the wrong things. I know for me, when we were at practice a few weeks ago, I had my guys and I was like, why is it so silent in the gym? I like a loud gym. When someone walks in the gym, I want it to be loud. I hate a quiet and let alone a silent gym. And so as we continue to play, I said, you know what? Well, something came to me and I was like, you know what? This might be my fault. How could it be my fault? Well, it was my fault because when we were playing, like during the drills, they wouldn't even talking during the drills. But I said, you know what? I said, come in, y'all. Come in for a second. So they came in and I said, what do I continue to ask you guys to do? And they said, talk, communicate. I said, exactly. And I asked them, I said, you know what though? I said, I failed to think about this. And I asked them, do you guys even know what to say? Like how to communicate? And I was like, when they were on defense, I was like, say that you got balls, say that you got these things. And they still weren't talking. And so I had to take a look at myself and think about why were they not talking? And come to find out, they did not know what to say. And I said, you know what? Forget this. We were playing cutthroat. I said, let's go back. I said, let's break it down. And I asked them, have you guys ever done shell drill before? And these are 9th grade boys and some even older, some younger as well. And they said, no. And I was like, you guys haven't done shell drill? And that was something that we did every day at practice, especially when I got to high school or in 8th grade. And so then I had to break it all the way down for them and say, okay, when you're 1 pass away, you're in deny. When you are on the ball, you say you got ball. When you're 2 passes away, you have help. And so we had to drill that over and over and over again in their heads so they would not have an excuse not to talk. But they were not talking, and that was on me as a coach because they did not know what to say. Now, mind you, this really isn't my team. I just go in to train and work with them. But that was my fault for asking them to communicate and talk when they had no idea what to say. So could it be that your players are not talking because they don't know what to say? I was listening to KG and Mike Bibby on KG's podcast, and Mike Bibby was talking about how his players don't talk and they won't talk on the screen and they'll just look at each other like, okay, am I gonna go? Are you gonna go? That is where communication comes into play, but also knowing what to say. Okay, I got a switch, I'm staying with ball. Stuff like that. That is what we have to do a better job as a coach, and just know that sometimes it's not always on the players. Sometimes it's us, and we need to take a look at ourselves and ask ourselves, are we doing our job? So, coaches, maybe your players are not talking because they simply do not know what to say. Make this change and see if it makes a difference. So, as always, I hope this helps.